Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 103 of MAME Politics.
What's up, guys?
We have a
Great to
very
be
special
here.
guest. Finally, got the one and only Abby Martin, my sister, my sibling. Martin Family Holiday Special.
What's up? COVID free. It's been sweet. Yeah, it's great to finally be here, Robbie.
I know, this is ridiculous.
This is awesome.
We're finally fucking doing it.
And with a game that I was obsessed with when I was 10. I have not played Wrath of the Gods in 25 years, so I am thrilled. Super excited.
Yeah, we are thrilled. This was I'd say it's probably the game we played together the most when we were kids, because we did play some other games. I was telling people about Martian Memorandum, which we also played.
Yeah.
And that's a really obscure game. Apparently this game has a little bit of a cult following online, because right before the stream I was trying to install a virtual Windows 3.1 system inside DOS because the game got messed up. I don't know who originally set it up on this machine. And then someone was kind enough, some really big fan of this game, wrapped it all up in a DOS emulator with Windows already installed. You just click on it and it launches. So if anyone wants to play this game, I'd be happy to provide the link. I don't think anyone's going to lose any money off of stealing it at this point, because it's like 25 years old. I would guess they didn't make very much money off of it to begin with. But yeah, so what you're seeing live now is in-game footage. This is live. And we actually do want to show you the intro of the game, because it's quite
Very bizarre.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on this game, Abby, after just seeing it again for the first time in 25 years?
I mean, it's super bad looking. I thought it was amazing at the time, of course, because everything was amazing, because the internet was new. But yeah, looking back on it, it's so goddamn shitty. It looks like someone just cut like terrible collage art and just slapped it together. It doesn't even look like real photos. It just looks like something super, like one of those scene eye photos in the background.
Yeah. Like, it almost looks like somebody took a bunch of different postcards,
Yeah.
scanned them into their computer, and then chopped them up on like MS Paint.
Right, and
stacked them together.
I love the centaur, like burly man, all these like kind of homoerotic images that we've already seen. So it's going to be really interesting.
That's one thing we have definitely noticed about the game so far, is that if I were to guess, I would say that they either knew a bunch of people who worked at a gym, who were in gay porn, or some other form of some field of work where there's a lot of ripped, hairy men.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be one of the main themes of the game. So
let's play the intro.
Okay, I'm gonna have to restart it to replay it. Yeah.
All right.
This is gonna be sloppy.
And I like the flies buzzing around in the background, the ambient noise of just flies.
Oh shit! Did I actually fuck this
Brings
up?
back a lot of memories, though.
Did I totally fuck this up?
So much goddamn time playing this.
So what you're seeing here is someone wrapped it all into a DOS emulator, which is pretty awesome. But this is the intro of the game. We got to show you this. So I guess if you click new game, it just goes straight into the game, but the introduction seems to kind of set things up. So here we go.
The Oracle.
Yeah, we got to turn on the Oracle.
Yeah, of course.
The Oracle is basically what gives you the hints to actually play through the game. With that off, you would not be able to do anything. It's like only for people who played the game all the way before.
Right. I can't hear.
When the gods of Olympus held sway upon the earth and ruled the wine-dark sea. When the deities involved themselves in the affairs of humankind, and a mortal might aspire to be larger than life, a child was born to the princess of Mycenae.
And how is my grandson today?
Wow, look at the artifacts around his body.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the hell? The baby's not even like animated. It's
Yeah,
like,
right. And it was
Like
like a
the
fake
sea?
baby sound.
Surely the father is some great hero.
Look at those artifacts around
Why
his
won't
head.
you tell me
like
his name,
in
my
that door.
daughter?
Right.
Be that as it may, the time has come to consult the Oracle of Delphi. It's not every day that a child is born into
Great.
the royal house.
So I guess that's us, right? Where
Yeah.
the baby?
Yeah.
Within your lifetime, O High King of
That
Mycenium,
fire animation.
this
Yeah, it's
child
great.
shall rule in your place.
Rule in
Look at his
my place? Never.
Oh, horrible acting.
Oh wait, so he wants to kill the baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, they actually had a
then
real
he
baby
raises him.
in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie, the game.
So then,
Well,
so
my
fast
boy,
forward 20 years
I've done
later,
all
and
I
then
can for you. I've raised you in the ways of beasts and men. Take this ring. It was in your blanket.
I like
when
how
found
normal
you.
the main character looks.
Yeah.
He just looks like a
And these
regular
gems
dude,
Yeah.
might
and
come
everyone
in
else
handy.
looks like they're like gay porn,
Now it's
or
time
like
for you to make your way in the
like
world.
hairy-chested guys.
Venture forth. Find your true parents and prove yourself. This
they wanted to kill
is
you. Why
the
the fuck would you
hero's
want to go back
path.
to them? Just because he's destined to be a king. All right.
Yeah. So, why don't you take it away, Abby?
All right, let's
Why
do
don't you
it.
start? What is the character? What is the protagonist's name? Do they ever say it?
No, I forgot. Okay. So you just, yeah, the footstep icon. Let's see. It's a little slow game. A little slow
Yeah.
game. All right.
Actually, that scene doesn't look a whole lot. I mean, that scene looks decent.
This one, yeah,
That
this one looks
chopped
a
up-
lot better.
You could tell some of the resolutions and the layers they're using, or
Oh my god.
the water.
And you just talk to them, right?
I think so, yeah. So Abby's playing right
Oh,
now.
please, kind hero. I'll reward you if you carry me across this river.
I am old and have no reward to offer, but please carry me across.
Is she offering sex? She's like, I'm
Obviously.
old
So
and I cannot.
The
fuck
choice
you.
we even understood with this choice when we were like in middle school is that you don't get enticed by the hot lady, you carry the old one
Right.
across the river.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe use the hand.
I am old.
Wait. Wait,
Oh, yeah.
he gets on top of her?
No. That it shows that he can't do it. Yeah, so you have to actually bring her. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
I remember that.
Okay, so walk across, I guess.
Oh my god, this is so great. Look at the water.
I mean, I have to give it to this game. It's very ambitious.
Yeah.
Like
right.
for being all real people,
Yeah.
real
Oh,
scenery.
Thank you. Here, take my necklace.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
What happens if you
what?
talk to her again?
No, fuck it.
There's more people over there.
All right, let's see.
Is this the guy?
Arrest that thief! He stole my wife's necklace.
Oops, we fucked up.
Wait,
oh,
what?
I forget how we escape from this. I remember this. Oh, you get the bucket.
And you got to stand
Full
on top
piss.
of it?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, it's his piss bucket.
Um,
Okay, so there's a dead guy in there.
So yeah, what the fuck? Do you just put it in front of the?
I think we get to use
Damn.
the oracle too. I think the
Let's
eye.
use the oracle, dude.
Well, click on the eye and see if you can look out the window or something. What does that? What does that do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Blue sky, birds, freedom. This is very silly. The bucket has to. Man, I forget. What do you think?
Look at the bucket. See what it
Yeah.
says when you look at it, or when
Right.
you look at the bucket in the bench.
Looks like a bucket. Great. Looks like a bench.
See what happens when you walk to the other side of the cell, like the left,
Okay.
if you can go over there. No, I won't let you.
Weird.
So you got to do something with the bench or the bucket, I guess.
know.
Oh, there's also a little hole in the wall right there. I don't know what that means. Try looking into the hole.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you're right. I think this is something.
Yeah.
Man,
Fuck. Okay.
what do you guys suggest?
Yeah. What do you guys think we should do? We got a choice between a dead skeleton, a bucket, a bench, a
We
slit.
immediately got arrested.
Yeah. I don't know. Does this mean we died? Like, is this?
No, I remember getting out of this, but I forget how.
Okay. There's the oracle.
All right, let's.
You are wise to consult
Another
the
porn
oracle,
looking
an
woman.
ineffable font of mystic advice. But it'll cost you.
But it'll
5
cost
coins
ya.
for each hint. Rumor has it that you can get the hints for free in info. Bet you gotta dig for 'em. So, why bother when you've got a mystic pal like me?
Her hair is
Okay.
unmoving.
So I guess we can buy hints.
But look for a weak spot in the wall. Yeah, the hole. But what the fuck?
Okay, the hole
Bro,
is
what the fuck?
obviously
Oh,
obviously
maybe
it.
you hit it. Oh, damn. I don't know, dude. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Just keep hitting it. There you go.
Like it just like granulates away. Like the bricks are done. Okay, so we're for free now.
All right, freedom.
Yeah, take over.
So, Robbie, what do you think about the Nashville explosion?
Extremely bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to make of it yet. I saw that Ford Fisher
Yeah, I saw that.
did a sort of a he doesn't usually do this, so I was surprised to see that he found this info, but I guess he identified the YouTube account that the video was originally posted from. Like, apparently it appears that the video footage of it actually exploding like came from the person who did it. And
Right, but
it appears that way. We don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's confusing.
Which means that the guy didn't die in the explosion then, right? Because if he posted it after.
Unless he was like extremely. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I was gonna
'Cause it
say you
was
could
like
do
a
a scheduled tweet.
Because it was like a
you can't.
scheduled,
No,
or it
you
was like a
can't.
security surveillance footage, right?
Yeah, wait, where did
The
you go?
first. So I just grabbed the stick on the ground. What the fuck? I have to go back across the river? Good God.
I mean, you should be able to walk across
Yeah.
it, right? Not an
God
issue.
damn it, dude.
Yeah, it's
very
annoying, like-
temperamental.
well, the control, it almost seems like you can't.
All right, let's go back
You
and
can
get the old
only
lady.
click in like 2 places on the screen. It just
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah, so tell the audience what Ford Fisher found out.
So what Ford Fisher found, or what it seems like he found, is that the person who originally posted what appeared to be surveillance video of the RV exploding in Nashville.
Look, now he carries her. You had to get that first, I guess.
The stick.
I don't know. You had
Does
to
ever
like
stick
bring
up
the.
her ass and carry her across the river? What is? How come you can carry her now?
I don't know. Wow.
Is she gonna give you a necklace and you're gonna get
I want to see
arrested
the
again?
making of Wrath of
Me
the
too.
Gods. Wow.
Oh, so she's like she's the actually hot, even though she looks like.
Oh no. Glitch
We lose
time.
audio?
Glitch time.
No way. We actually lost audio.
Damn.
That sucks.
I know.
Oh no, came back.
Weird.
Just your voice.
Yeah, so Ford Fisher found the first person who made the viral tweet of the initial explosion, their YouTube channel, or allegedly their YouTube channel. It looked like it was linked to the same name, and their
Yes.
YouTube was full of bizarre, like, COVID mashup stuff.
Yeah, like kind of like COVID conspiracy stuff. And there was also something, for some reason, so that happened. So someone who has a similar name on their YouTube channel appears to have been like really into the COVID conspiracy stuff. And it could be the same person who was responsible for whatever this was. It's unclear. But another strange thing was that someone discovered a Nashville, whatever the local like big Nashville paper was. Someone 2 years ago ran a full-page ad saying that ISIS was going to launch a nuke in downtown Nashville.
What?
And the newspaper, like a bunch of people had to quit in protest because the newspaper ran this full-page
That's
ad.
insanely stupid.
And it could be just a totally random coincidence, but it is a strange thing that someone ran. Like, why would you run a full-page
Why
ad
the fuck would
saying?
a paper allow you to
Yeah.
do that? That is crazy.
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
it is crazy.
I just collected 2 sticks so far.
I mean, remember, like New York Times even used to let people run giant articles, you know, like saying like Max Blumenthal was anti-Semitic or like things like that, like the
Excuse me?
APAC. You remember like the
Who ran that in New York Times?
yeah, I think New York Times. It was an ad. It was like APAC or something. It was one of those types of organizations. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
So like those Israel groups have been allowed to run like very salacious
supposed to be?
full-page
One of them
ads for a
famous
while.
Wow. Well, if they let Donald Trump run the ad calling for the execution of the Central Park
That's
5,
true.
then
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so watching the Nashville thing again, it was really stupid to see all the people on corporate media like pontificating about what it could be. They're just like, is it the woman who died who's in the voice recording? It's like, obviously it's not. Obviously they just took a recording of someone.
The voice recording
like
sounded
very,
like from the internet.
Yeah, I know. It was like very generic voice recording. But I mean, since they found human remains, it seems most likely that it was just a really sensational suicide.
Yeah.
Of a guy just exploding himself in the RV and not wanting to kill anyone else. But it is funny how everyone's just like immediately thinking it's a terrorist attack. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, how would you describe it? Because it's like the word terrorism has just become so meaningless since 9/11 that like anything that involves a bomb, people are going to immediately say is terrorism. And, you know, maybe its purpose was to terrorize, but it seems like they didn't, if they warned people to get out of the area.
Right. He just wanted to damage property.
Or just scare people. It's an odd thing.
It is very odd, but we are living in strange times and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, even the MAGA bomber thing, like, I didn't think that was any kind of, like, false flag or a hoax. I just thought it was really odd, you know, and weird that someone would do that, to send, like, fake pipe bombs around the country to, like, Robert De Niro and stuff.
Yeah. It does seem like, someone just wanted to go out in a really sensational way, really dramatic. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but if that YouTube channel does belong to the person, you know, and if it really is the Twitter account as well, then that means that someone else knew about it, you know, and was told to like post it. And so that definitely adds a strange element to it.
And that is something that we've been seeing more and more often with any of these mass shootings or even these kinds of things. I mean, the El Paso shooter was
plundering the mortals who would
more
face
gay
their
porn
plagues.
characters.
I'll die you for a gem, but beware, the
Hey, John.
Hydra lurks ahead.
Hi, John.
What did he say?
I don't know.
Don't consult the Oracle.
No, of course not. Don't want to waste that shit.
The scan lines, like, in the... I feel like you're going to die. Wait, what? Oh, you need a flashlight or you need a crystal or something from him.
Right.
You need his
know
torch.
What? This is where we fight. Okay, this is where we fight a monster, I think.
Makes the same mistake twice.
Sorry, dude.
The deal's the same. I'll guide you for a gem.
Okay, we'll give you a gem then.
Where do you get a gem? What's in your satchel?
There you go.
Do you already have a fucking gem?
Yeah, 2 gems.
That's nice.
Let's go.
The cash register sound.
All right.
Okay, let's go before I chicken out.
So I think it takes you to a monster, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the weird thing about this game and like a lot of other adventure games is there are moments of action in the game, and they're terrible. Like, they're very hard to play. Like, I remember you have to kill, like, what's the dog with, like, 3 heads? Like, Cerebrus or something?
I forgot.
Like,
but
you
yeah,
have to, there's a point in the game where you have to, like, fight that, and, like, you just keep having to click on it with the sword and stuff, and it's just, like, very, very, it just sucks.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Right here.
Do you have a sword?
Shit.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked you remember that. Dude, you, like, remembered it exactly.
Wait, I have the branch only. Can I kill him with the
Try
stick?
It. Try it.
Not that. Try something else.
Well, there's nothing else, dude.
Go down.
I went too early.
Try going down on the menu and see if there's any any other items. No.
God damn it. I went too early. We have to go back.
Do you have to get a sword to fight it?
I mean, I could try to do it with my hand. Let's see what happens.
You can try doing it with your hand.
Wow.
Is that Zeus?
This looks really good.
You gotta talk to his ass.
Yeah.
What? Who dares disturb my rest? Oh, it's you. Has no one told you Olympus is reserved for the gods? Mortals are strictly forbidden. Unless you know somebody.
Great.
You've proven unworthy to fight the Hydra.
Well, okay, so we have to get a sword first, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Look how slow this is, Jesus. Just jump, dude.
It's funny because even new video games don't let you do things out of order like this. They're so scripted and so like locked in. Like like
that's what I don't like about
me either. Like even a game as simple as this lets you accidentally do something in the wrong order, like that you're supposed to do at the game.
You have to figure it out. Like,
and it's kind of neat because it is sort of trial and error. I mean, you can do it in some modern games. I'll take that back, but
Greetings, noble wanderer. Could I interest you in a little
Why are their outfits
magic
unmoving?
elixir?
Just because it's easier to just put the head in or
Guaranteed
something?
yeah, I think it
prolong your
takes up a lot less
life in
space.
harmony.
Yeah.
They have a lot of
One gem.
talking characters in speech.
Jesus Christ, everyone wants a gem.
I'll give her a gem,
Oh,
dude.
well, we only have one left. What are we supposed to do? Jesus. Do we even get anything for this? I forget what you
A
said.
magic elixir.
Great.
Better use it soon, 'cause it's past the expiration date. But the price was right, eh?
Yikes.
Look me up if you need a refill. I'll
Will
be
do.
heading back to the warehouse soon to stock up.
So the game
Very
is like filled
strange.
with humor that's
Yeah,
making like
right.
jokes about how it's not really, I guess, in ancient Greece. Really clever. What is that?
Satchel.
Grab
Look.
that shit.
Dragon's teeth. Okay. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it's been a wild year, guys. I hope everyone had a good holiday with their family, COVID-free holiday. But yeah, it's been pretty effing crazy, Robbie.
Yeah,
I've
it
only
has
seen
been.
you once when you came down to LA.
Yeah, Abby and I have only seen each other in person twice since this all started.
Yeah.
I am Skyron, and these are my cliffs. I demand that you kneel down before
right.
me and wash my feet.
Okay. Will you give me a sword?
You can wash this dude's feet?
Look, he's just doing it. Great. Awesome. Do we get anything for this, or
We better get fucking something, dude.
we have to give
This
him
is-
head too?
Yeah.
Damn.
I wonder if they ever made a
This is
porno
bizarre.
game that looked like this.
They should.
Like that had real people
An
in it.
erotic
Like a
version of
yeah, like Leisure
Back to
Suit
God.
Larry, but
yeah.
with real people.
Oh man, we
Yeah.
could play that one next time. All right, dude. What? Okay.
It's just is it infinitely just keep washing his
Yeah, I
feet
think
until
it does.
Can you click away?
Jesus.
That'd be funny if the game
There's a lot of
crashed.
just, like waiting, huh?
Yeah, I mean I don't know. It seems like it crashed to me. I know you're done now. Wait,
All
what?
right, well, what the fuck? Here, you do it.
That'd be hilarious if it crashed right here.
Oh my god.
Did I try to like
Died
grab
again.
another part of his body?
Oh, awesome.
I'm at
yes,
Styx
the river
now.
Styx. Yep.
Welcome to Hades, Kingdom of the Dead. Say, you look kind of healthy to be hanging around down here. Oh, no matter. That's Charon, the boatman over there. He'll take you across the river Styx if you got the toll.
If you got the
Oh
toll,
fuck, we already spent our goddamn gems.
We are
Do
completely
we need,
out of gems.
Do we need Dragon's Teeth maybe?
Oh, maybe. Give him the dragon's teeth. Elixir, maybe?
That? Nope.
Damn.
Fuck.
Not that. Try something else.
Two
That?
branches. Got nothing for it.
I feel like we really fucked up, dude.
Yeah, we did. How are we gonna get back?
I don't know. We're like on a completely different part of the level now. Well, some of this actually does look quite
looks
good for
good.
the time.
I like the rocks on the ground.
That's creepy.
Dragon's teeth. There you go.
Now look what you made me do.
Gem.
Gem.
All right. Yeah. So who in the chat was actually able to spend the holiday with their family? Because we basically all got tested for COVID before we hung out with each other, and I just want to know how other people are managing that. I mean, has anybody in here just been like, fuck it, not gonna, not worry about it, just do what we're gonna do normally, or what kind of precautions have you guys been taking?
Yeah, it seems like a really depressing time to not be with family. So I could
Yeah.
see people just saying fuck it and spending time with their family anyway. just really crazy.
But there's definitely some people's families, like I've heard about people's parents or grandparents who refuse to see anybody
Right.
because they're just so scared,
Yeah.
regardless of tests, regardless of masks, social distancing. And that must be very isolating and depressing. I can't even imagine.
Oh, someone said I had a Zoom Christmas. It was depressing. Sorry, Level Anchorage. That sucks.
Level Anchorage, who did you Zoom with? Was it your parents or?
Yeah, other people are saying it was good to not have to drive. John hasn't seen family since this started. Damn.
Hey, Furious. Good to see you.
I mean, I have to say it was kind of nice to just skip the whole party this time. You know, we usually have a big, giant family party.
Well,
on
that's the nice
Christmas
thing
Eve, so
about
it's
this
kinda
whole
just nice.
situation. I mean, I told you that
have an
already. That
excuse
like,
to be
I just don't I mean,
isolated.
I like our Christmas Eve parties, but yeah, for Mom's sake, like just the amount of work she puts into that shit, she busts her ass.
Yeah,
you know.
right.
So that was nice.
It was a nice break.
Yeah, and but yeah, what a weird thing. I mean, I guess the sad part that really dawned on me at Christmas, well, even before, is that I just cannot imagine things ever going back to normal.
Right.
If for a whole lifetime. Like this, it's not that this is going to have the same level of like, I mean, it does almost kind of resemble 9/11 in the sense that it's like we're living in a new reality now where this is the framework.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's always going to be a post-COVID reality.
yeah, but even just the mindset of like they're now saying like, well, once everybody gets vaccines, we'll have to develop enough herd immunity. But I feel like it's just going to be some kind of never-ending reason to keep things, you know, not fully open or whatever. And I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, and imagine if this happens again too, like another virus, another new virus. I mean, it is actually, if you look back at the past 20 years, there's been like an exponential increase of like new and dangerous viruses that have broken out. You know, like SARS, West Nile virus, like all those things. And it does, and that's why people, you know, think that all the sort of prescient bio, you know, pandemic people are somehow in on it, because it's like, well, Bill Gates and these people have been like talking about this is going to happen, so they must have been behind it. But it's like the curve shows that it was probably going to happen at some point, just based on the amount of like the increases. Yeah. So that's another part of what I'm thinking about is like, what if this happens again on top of, you know, not like right now, but like what if in a year another virus happens?
Yeah.
Is it going to kick in the system of like extreme overreaction?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just so crazy what's happened here in the U.S. compared to everywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
It's like everywhere else is just opening theaters again, holding concerts, just living life as if everything's normal again. You know, people are just like, oh, yeah, COVID happened? Like, we totally forgot, because it was just so brief and it was dealt with so efficiently from their governments. So it is very surreal that almost a year into this, our government is talking about giving us $600 and acting like it's this huge benefit to the people. You know, and on CNN today, they were just like, oh my God, Trump's threatening to veto this bill or not pass this much needed stimulus, and like people need this right now. It's like, yeah, people needed $2,000 every month 9 months ago. So
yeah, I mean, there's probably, and this is the thing that the media needs to cover more, is like, where are the personal stories about people who died from basically going bankrupt?
Oh yeah, it's only just people who died from COVID. That,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, there's gotta be
fear-mongery shit where
there's
it's like
gotta be people examples.
so they could blame Trump, basically, like interviewing people to
Yeah.
just make conjure the hatred against Trump for failing.
That's
to
part
act.
of why I think the failed state, we need universal health care thing pivoted so quickly, because it's like it was very obvious, and yeah, it makes sense why they don't sort of showcase those stories.
There have been a couple cases on like local news where people are being evicted, and it's just horrifying.
Yeah,
to be pulling people out of their homes.
The eviction stuff seems to be the only thing I've really seen get attention. Small businesses obviously closing due to, and then the right has been very good at sort of hijacking that issue and making it their own issue. It's kind of funny, actually. They had like some Staten Island bar owner guy, like being like coming front and center of like the small business sort of thing. But like he was like he looked like he was like a mobster. Like he talked and acted like he was a mobster. The right is just always so they're so good at hijacking the debates, but then like when they actually like aesthetically try to like create the narratives, like they pour in these like weird figures where it's just like, that's the guy you're gonna use, like this guy who looks like he's like on the show Pawn Stars, who's got like he wasn't saying anything that out of line. He was just like sounded and looked exactly like a mobster who run a bar in Staten Island. It's out of a fucking cartoon. So it was just like it's like almost like using the My Pillow guy at the RNC. It's like, why would you use this person, you know? Is there some of those like salt of the earth? Do you imagine in your mind, like, if I just use like people who just seem really sleazy, then that's like going to relate to like Trump supporter? I mean, I don't even get it. It's odd. It seems like an odd choice.
Yeah, the small business thing is by far, I think, in terms of like economic desperation, it's really, really sad to see how many people have lost their businesses that are, you know, through the pandemic, that didn't get any relief and just swallowed up by like larger corporations, or, you know, and that's definitely a huge benefit and advantage to the system.
Yeah. And the small business angle has always been hijacked by the right, even as far back as Obamacare and the taxing.
Right.
Because it's like, well, small business owners are going to get taxed.
Wage laws.
Yeah, like, so it's like, that's going to hurt small businesses. So that's always their framing, because they know it's useful. But in reality, I mean, the people who are going to suffer from this most are people who don't even own businesses.
Of course.
Who are losing employment, who are losing their health insurance, who are starving. And people, let's just, you know, be real. People who have small businesses usually, you know, are more well off than people who are employed and, you know, at a minimum wage job. That's very obvious. So the fact that it's like the right's only talking about those people, it just shows how sort of manufactured and politically useful it is for them.
Yeah, so disconnected. No one talks about 1 out of 3 families are struggling to like eat enough every week.
No.
You know, this is the real political reality in this country, is how many people do not have enough food, don't have enough housing. The homeless rates are skyrocketing in LA, which is the epicenter of homelessness, not only in the country, but in much of the world. There is a ridiculous amount of tent cities that have popped up in the last year. All of the tent areas are like, you know, compounded tenfold. So it seems like city officials have mostly been hands off because they just like, I don't know if they feel worse about cleaning out these areas with during COVID, but it is just super devastating because I think it shows you how many more families and people in general are being forced out of their homes right now. And the eviction moratorium ended actually at the end of 2020. So landlords are now able to act with impunity. They don't have to be prevented legally from kicking people out. You know, there's no COVID protections anymore. Our landlord decided to move back in our home, so we're getting kicked out as well, you know, and we have the better end of the deal because we can afford to go somewhere else. But like, what about all the people who can't? You know, you need a giant security deposit. You need to cover costs of moving. It's just absolutely insane that we're dealing with this a year in. And Yasha Levine, I love him as a journalist because he just doesn't go into journalism trying to make any friends. He's an equal opportunity offender. But his new article, at the end of it, he talked about in times of distress and like economic devastation, that's not when uprisings happen. You know, people, it's not like a given that some uprising is going to happen just because people are experiencing like a horrible economic downturn or a depression.
Yeah.
It's just
that's
like,
true. I mean,
we keep thinking that that's going to happen. You know, people are finally going to rise up and demand health care. People are going to finally revolt because our government is fucking us over so bad. But like, that's not historically at all what is going to happen or has happened unless there's some massive like labor base or organizing base locally. And it's just so atomized and disintegrated right now in this country that we have to start there. But yeah, we keep looking federally and we're like, how come there's not just this massive, you know, systemic revolt? But I just don't think we're very far from that happening.
No. And the last time it really happened was, you know, in the 70s or during like the Vietnam War. It's I guess the last time, if we really go back to like the Great Depression and the New Deal era, think of the trajectory that happened right after that. It's like, in reality, historically speaking, anytime a country as big as the United States is suffering this much and their people are suffering this much, in fact, it's a very ripe time for fascism and nationalism and war.
Yep.
And that is actually part of why I am so concerned about the China stuff right now, because it's so obvious that that psychological setup is happening. It's like, we're suffering, we're feeling awful. This seems like a nightmare we can't get out of, but let's just focus all of our hatred at China right now, instead of worrying about what's happening here.
Deflecting all of our problems on our adversaries. That's the American way, right?
Yeah.
You have to blame someone else instead of our oligarchy.
Yep. So I think that's a more likely scenario. Some kind of mass revolt. It's just not going to happen. And, you know, unfortunately, the right has, and the QAnoners have like hijacked certain real issues to the point where now, like, the only revolts you're going to see are going to be almost like AstroTurf seeming, like MAGA. Like, did you see that MAGA thing in Oregon where they were like trying to break into the Capitol building, like busting the doors down and stuff?
What, is it a Stop the Steal
No,
thing?
it actually was not. It was an anti-lockdown protest in Oregon. And a bunch of like armed militia people with like AK-47s were trying to break into the building and stuff. And I mean, I think that's the stuff we're going to see more and more of during the Biden administration.
Liberate Oregon.
Yeah,
Liberate Oregon.
So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where it's going to go, but I see those kind of revolt, like nationalistic revolts.
Right.
Like fascist style revolts.
Yeah, you're right. This is when fascism breeds, is during times of crisis like this. It's not like we're going to see socialism. I mean, yeah, it's like the Bernie movement, even though it was really inspiring that many people are rejecting capitalism and stuff, it's like you still, where is that energy going to go? I feel like you don't have the base to really keep that momentum happening on an organizing level. And so I just hope it doesn't dissipate and we just see the fascist base become more fueled. I was hoping that the Trump defeat would just be like kicking the fascists down because they needed to be knocked down, but that energy has to go somewhere too, and they're just going to keep growing, you know, because they like you said, like the lockdown shit, COVID's going to continue. They think that's all conspiracy. It's gonna be ugly, and Biden sure as fuck isn't going to do anything to help people. So, you know.
Yeah, and I guess the sad part for me is I do really feel like we do need to not examine what the real conspiratorial angle is with COVID, but we need to examine the just very real, on the surface, like, you know, like disaster capitalism sort of framework being used in a way during COVID that's really they've never been able to do before. Like the ruling class profit enormously off of tragedy, profit off of, you know, this, like, basically what seems like a really rushed vaccine. I tried to do that already. Look, what do you say? Yeah,
No, that won't do at all. Bad form.
And you can't give it to him either?
Can't give the coin to the ghost, yeah.
The fuck?
I feel like this, yeah, I don't know what to do here. Maybe, you know what? Let's use the Oracle. Fuck it.
Let's use the Oracle.
Yeah. Let's see what she says.
Divination, tell me you're broke. Have a few gems on me.
Well, thanks.
Hint.
Well, okay. Bribe the boatman, but we just tried. I just tried to give him the coin. You know?
What about gems? You have 3 gems now. Try giving the gems to the guy.
There you go.
No.
What?
No, that won't do at all.
Why did it take my gem?
Bad form.
Is he not the boatman?
That's why. Well, I keep trying to click on him, and he's just nothing's happening.
What happens when you walk? Oh fuck.
Yeah, one thing that's really crazy too about the new stimulus, because it's part of all the NDAA stuff, is just all the regime change, operational money in it. You know, like Venezuela regime change, hundreds of millions of dollars. Israel has the $500 million
the pro-Modi, anti-China stuff about the Dalai Lama in Tibet. It's all shoved in there, which was surprisingly, well, I guess not surprisingly shoved in there by AOC, or I don't know if she's the one who put it in there, but she was promoting
released a statement about it. Yeah.
And it is sort of weird to go back and think about, like, I said this last night on Twitter, and people, obviously, like a lot of anarchists and people on the left who are like there's a lot of like leftists who are anti-China, who think it's like an imperialist, whatever. But it's like saying that the Free Tibet movement was CIA sponsored doesn't mean that I'm like in love with China, or I think China is
they were just promoting
an infallible.
Yeah, they were. It was
the CIA
part of the propaganda
promotes a lot of things that have real kernels of truth. Jackson Pollock wasn't a fake person that the CIA hired an actor to do splatter painting.
Yeah, they just propped up
funded it.
shitty art.
Yeah, so like
to try to
that's
beat out Soviet culture.
Yeah,
right?
so I think that there's people who have the tendency to go overboard and say like this is a CIA creation. It's all from top to bottom a CIA op. Nothing about it's real. That's often not how it's done. And we talked to Doug Valentine about this. Like he explained it very clearly. Like in the Vietnam Phoenix assassination program, they would just hire poor people.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes even teenagers to go in and assassinate Viet Cong leaders. The CIA would. They didn't even use that many like Americans to go out there and like slit throats or, shoot some guy in the head while he's sleeping. It was a lot of proxy hires.
Right.
And so when we're talking
there's
about
just no accountability at all or traceability back to the US.
And it is, I mean, the Dalai Lama, like, sure, he's said some really sort of like hopeful, he's like, it sounds like he's a peaceful guy, and that his statements, like, I used to read his books, like I had The Art of Happiness.
Like a shade. The Art of Happiness?
Yeah, like I read The Art of Happiness when I was like 20 years old, and I thought it was awesome. Like it really sort of like changed my outlook, and I was like the Dalai Lama seems like a really good person.
Let's try it again.
I even kind of got into Tibetan Buddhism for a second, thinking that it was, it made a lot of sense. And I still think there's aspects of the Buddhist belief system that I really do appreciate, but you really do have to question, why was the Free Tibet movement so shoved into the dialogue here? And one of the only explanations is that it had U.S. government sponsorship. That doesn't mean that that you can't, support some Tibetans' struggles or whatever. And if you do, you're sort of a CIA shill.
They found it useful.
Exactly.
Right,
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So somebody came at me last night and they're like, man, this is why I'm a fucking anarchist. Like, fuck this, like, CPC stand shit.
Yeah.
For just saying that the Free Tibet movement is CIA sponsored. Like, how does that? That's basically the same type of response you would get as saying, you guys know that the proxy war in Syria against Assad is CIA sponsored, and somebody would be like, fuck this shit. That's why I'm an anarchist, because I don't want any of this Assadist bullshit. It's like, it's the same logic when you're not saying that you love Assad or that you think he's the greatest guy in the world. You're just pointing out a very clear fact.
Right.
And I find it interesting that people on the left or even anarchists they just can't process that. It's like they need to believe that you need to be like an equal opportunity offender with like every major country in the world.
Every government, yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't, because if you're an anti-imperialist, how many military bases does China have around the world? They have like 4 in other countries. I mean,
right, and also anti-imperialism is like you respect the self-determination of other countries while focusing on how you can deter your government from impeding like struggles of self-determination. So that's your job as an anti-imperialist, especially as an empire baby, is stopping your government from hurting other people around the world. It's not attacking other governments that you actually don't understand culturally.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah. It's a form of arrogant, narcissistic xenophobia to be an American and act like the information you're getting through Western media about China is legitimate.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is total arrogant.
Right.
And it's just like, how could you possibly...
What are we going to do here,
I don't know,
dude. How do we
stuck.
get out of here?
I'm stuck, dude.
Anyone have any ideas? Well, Robbie, the Dalai Lama, and you haven't watched the Nxivm cult docu-series,
there's
The
2 of
Vow
them, right?
or Seduced. If anyone has, please talk about it in the chat. It is absolutely fascinating. All of these Hollywood actors and like famous people, royalty, The Seagram's dynasty, billionaire daughters, all got involved with
Seagram's,
Keith
the gin
Raniere.
company?
Yeah, Keith Raniere, this guy who's just like a cult figure. He paid the Dalai Lama $1 million through the Seagram's dynasty, $1 million to just come and legitimize the cult of Nxivm. And it's just the most wonky shit of all time. I've been wanting to talk about it on Media Roots Radio, but you have to watch the series first because it really shows you. I mean, humans are just so fragile. The fact that you can get wrapped up into a cult that you literally become like a slave, like an actual sex slave, and think that it's an empowerment tool. It's very sad and very surreal. And these people are powerful figures before they got wrapped up into this, and it just shows you just humans are just, our psychology is just so weak. But if anyone's watched it, please, I know about the Nxivm case. Yeah, it's really trippy, you guys. But yeah, it was just funny that Dalai Lama legitimized them and like got them so much press, and it was just like a totally paid off operation.
That is very strange. I didn't realize that he was involved in that.
And it was already after Keith Raniere had like raped several girls. He impregnated some like 15-year-old girl, and it was all over the press. And so there was already so much bad press that they had squashed with lawsuits. But even the Dalai Lama on film, when he's meeting with these people, he's just like, is anything that I've read like true? It wasn't even like there was a clean slate and he legitimized the cult. He like knew that there was already rape allegations against this guy.
Wow.
And still just took the money, and let himself legitimize them. It was very bizarre.
Well, what you'll find is that a lot of these Eastern religion mogul, like figure, cult leader type people who get popular in the United States are like basically sex criminals. Like the Bikram yoga guy.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's a full-on like serial sexual assaulter and rapist. You didn't know about that?
Oh my god.
The hot yoga guy?
Yeah.
And there's people who are like vehement defenders of him still because they're all over the place, his brand of hot yoga and stuff.
Bikram yoga is so stupid too, because it's just taking other people's poses and just making like a making like a structure out of other poses. It's not like you're inventing anything new.
Well, he claimed he's tried to copyright it and like try to sue and shut down any other people who've done hot yoga places. Just the concept of doing hot yoga where they like turn
Are
up
you
the
serious?
heat. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. He was on a tear. He lost his efforts to do it didn't work.
It does feel very culty now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I went to a couple hot yoga Bikram specifically, and like the teachers were always very bizarre and authoritarian acting. Like you can't say anything, you can't like make noise, you can't do anything. It's like really weird.
Yeah, someone just said gurus are sus. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like any guru, I would say is by default sus because I mean there's probably some good ones out there
like
who are nice and peaceful people. Yeah, like Chris Butler. But like in general, especially when it comes to like gurus who like are in like rich, affluent, white, areas like like for example, Berkeley. There's probably a shitload of like scammer gurus out there, like Hare Krishna gurus. I mean,
yep. And also like the psychedelic resurgence, people doing like ayahuasca with these fake ass gurus and shit.
Oh god, the ayahuasca cult to me is like one of the most annoying ones because a lot of people I know did ayahuasca via an ayahuasca cult, and I wish they talked to me first, and I could have been like, here's how you do it, not through a cult.
Right.
You should talk to these people and not the cult. Like then it's like a $2,000. You basically get trapped with a cult in the jungle. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You have diarrhea. It's like because it gives you diarrhea, like you shit your brains out in the jungle.
That's part of it, Robbie. You gotta purge. You gotta purge everything. Wait, this is hilarious. Someone said Dalai Lama. There was an article saying the Dalai Lama said forgive Pinochet.
Yep.
Are you joking?
That came out recently. C Fantastic brought up something I saw recently. Hi, C Fantastic.
That's bizarre.
Says when Dalai Lama said the next Dalai Lama will not be female unless she's hot. Yes.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I remember reading that, C Fantastic. I don't know if they said hot. I think he said something like if she's not attractive or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's the one thing you need to know already about Tibetan Buddhism is it's inherently extremely misogynistic.
Of course.
It's just as misogynistic as like Orthodox Judaism. Possibly even more so. So even though I do think spiritually it definitely has some like valuable, things you can learn from it, the culture of Tibetan Buddhism is very, it's done some pretty fucked up shit. But there is some really fascinating and interesting stuff about it that if you're just sort of like learning about it, it's truly fascinating. Like, for example, sky burials, a traditional form of Tibetan Buddhist funeral, where they literally take a corpse of someone who's just recently died, bring it to the top of a mountain, and slice it up like an autopsy. They slice open the body, they expose all the meat, and then they let vultures come and actually tear the body apart and eat it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's how I want to die.
So there's interesting stuff like that in Buddhism that's like, that has like symbolic meaning that to me is pretty fascinating. But yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot of really fucked up shit about it. You know, and to blame China and only place the blame on them or the communists or whatever for what happened to the Tibetans sort of under that rule, I think is just omitting so much important stuff about history. I mean, there was a communist party of Tibet that like took over, first of all. It's not like Chinese troops came in from Beijing and, you know, like invaded Tibet. It's like the whole impression we're given of what happened is just false, is basically what I'm saying.
Right.
And then it's also interesting now that this stuff with Modi, it's like the Modi stuff and the Dalai Lama stuff now.
Harboring the Dalai Lama?
Yeah, the Dalai Lama has been exiled in India for a long time. So to have that sort of being resurrected and to have this sort of soft pro Modi message alongside of that is.
Damn it, dude.
And the Oracle won't tell you anything?
No, the Oracle just says bribe the guy. It's like, yeah, obviously. This sucks.
So we should probably bounce in like 15 minutes, huh?
Well, what the fuck?
1:30. Or it's 1:15.
No, we can leave in 30.
Try something else.
We can leave in 30, yeah. I mean, it just sucks that we can't get past the screen. You know, the Oracle wasn't really a help, so.
Yeah.
Anyone have any ideas?
Who wants to look up a Wrath of the Gods walkthrough for us and tell us exactly what to do?
Damn, it's a dead end. We got completely screwed. We got thrown off the mountain by the feet washing guy. Too bad.
Yeah.
We didn't give him enough sexual favors. So what else happened this year? A lot of China ramp up, COVID, which I guess was the big one. Biden, our new president, can't wait. God, what else?
I don't know. I mean, the whole
Seems like Groundhog Day, dude.
It does, but everything seems to be sucked up still for me into this idea of is Trump gonna gracefully exit still?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's,
yeah, in the background, Trump is just continuing to claim that, you know, he's gonna stay in office. It has to be part of the grift, though, right?
I mean, is it though? That's the question that I'm still going back and forth in my mind, because at this point, I feel like he's actually helping ruin his own brand.
Right.
I mean, by like shattering some of these alliances between him and other Republicans and doubling down into this weird fringy hole of OAN, Newsmax, and Epoch. I mean, that to me it's not surprising that he's sort of gravitated towards those, but it is surprising that it's just like he's as aggressive against like anybody who's not like openly trumpeting that he won, you know. But at the same time, he's still playing a balancing act because so Trump is calling out Mitch McConnell right now for saying that Biden won. Do you hear that already? But Mitch McConnell is one of the richest people in the Senate. And do you know what his business is? Like how he made most of his money?
No.
His wife, I think it's his wife, or either him and his wife run like a Chinese importing goods giant business.
Amazing. That's amazing.
And Trump is like calling every China
yeah,
plant,
yeah, but he
won't say Mitch is bought by China. So it's interesting how aggressive he acts. Like it's like a dog with like a loud bark.
Yeah.
But in reality, he's not biting Mitch McConnell because he could probably ruin Mitch McConnell in the eyes of all his fringe MAGA supporters right now by saying this guy is a China plant.
That's amazing.
He makes all his money from China. He hasn't done that, and I think that shows that there's some kind of balancing act going on still.
Well, it's also weird that Nancy Pelosi and all these Democratic leaders in Congress are not able to just lucidly explain the fact that Republicans have blocked the $2,000 check that they were trying to push.
Yeah.
And they've let Trump and the Republicans, again, hijack the narrative that they want Americans to get $2,000. I even see, like, allegedly leftist media or, like, a lot of alternative media is just picking up and running with the narrative that Trump wants to give us $2,000, guys.
Yeah,
But it's not the
flank the left.
Republicans who blocked this shit. But again, it's like, why are the Democrats letting them steamroll them over and over again? And it's so convoluted when it should just be really crystal clear. They just go up there and explain exactly what happened. So that's happening. And also you saw Trump pardoning one of the only people that got prosecuted and prosecuted during the entire Iraq War. You know, the actual criminals who pioneered the Iraq War, launched the invasion, never got touched. They're just sitting there making art, going around the world just on book tours and shit. When the only people who really did get prosecuted were the Blackwater Nassau Square massacre perpetrators, and Trump just pardoned these motherfuckers. One of the I guess it was just one guy who got charged. I don't know if it was multiple people, but one guy was in prison for life for first-degree murder, and he was just pardoned on Trump's way out the door. Like, the most sadistic shit you can possibly imagine. You know, what does that say about just non-Western life? The value, the value that people put on, like, Iraqi lives, you know?
Well, that's the whole premise of Trump's fake and the MAGA movement's fake anti-war spirit, if you want to call it that, because it's all about only being concerned about American lives and wasting money. It's never about Iraqis. Even Tulsi Gabbard's anti-war platform is never about civilians or Iraqis primarily. Maybe she mentioned it a couple of times. What happened? You clicked on yourself?
Someone just told us. Someone literally just said, "Put the coin on your head." Holy shit!
Wait, who did?
Wait,
giving us tip? Oh, Robo, thank you, dude. He's in the Discord. I
Wow,
think.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
and a coin goes on your head. You have to click the coin on your head. Thank you so
You're
much,
a badass,
Robo.
man.
And thank you, Omar, for watching the Gaza documentary. I'm really, really happy that you did. Aw, your mom started to almost cry. I'm sorry about that. I'm really happy that you enjoyed it and that it was powerful to you. I'm really happy people are still getting something out of it.
Is it available yet on Means TV?
It is. It has been available for
on demand.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's free on Means
Okay.
TV, and also we're putting Empire Files episodes on Means. I encourage people to subscribe and check out Means. It's a really great streaming platform, anti-capitalist, worker-owned. Thank you for telling us how to get the hell out of that quagmire. But yeah, the pardoning stuff is just unbelievable and totally surreal. And, you know, we talked about it in Media Roots Radio, this weird mindfuck of Trump potentially pardoning whistleblowers like Assange and Edward Snowden and Ross Ulbricht. But in reality, he's just pardoning like the most like disgusting war criminals imaginable. And really, what is that signaling to everyone?
Well, isn't it funny too what he did with the Assange, Ulbricht, and Snowden pardons? Is he seems like he has his surrogates going out there trying to hype people up into believing that he's going to do it.
Yeah.
But with the Blackwater pardon, he just
did
quietly,
he just did it.
Instantly did it. So I have to wonder, what the fuck is Trump's play here? Is he just want the credit for doing something heroic that he's not going to do?
Is he doing it for Eric Prince? Like, why would he do that?
Yeah.
For these Nassau Square massacre
Oh, and
guys?
Jared Kushner's dad. He also pardoned him. He was
my
also
God.
in jail.
That's incredible.
I think he was still in jail. I'm not sure if he still was, but he's pardoned people who are already out of jail who
Right.
just had felony convictions, like
Oh,
Bernard
yeah,
Carrick
yeah.
and Scooter Libby,
Right.
which is super weird to see
Yep.
Bernard Carrick, who I originally learned about as being like a potential 9/11 suspect, going on Newsmax and saying we should pardon Ross Ulbricht.
Yeah, that was
And
surreal
also
as hell.
saying that the president's probably going to, like, he was alluding to the fact that he's been in communication with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I got confirmation that that's going around behind the scenes, that Trump is trying to put that messaging out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know people who are sort of close to that case, and they're like, yeah, something is happening. You know, we can't really say more about it. So I'm like,
It's
okay.
just so yeah.
But
I get why he's doing all that shit. I don't understand the Scooter Libby stuff and all that. It's just, that's really strange to me.
we would think that someone who vehemently acted like he hated Bush neocons wouldn't
Right.
pardon the chief
Right.
Scooter Libby wasn't just a small player in the Bush administration. He was like front and center with the anthrax propaganda.
Mhm.
He was sending coded messages to Judith Miller in prison, which is really sketchy if you read what he was saying to her. But yeah, it is really
Well,
unusual.
we don't have a sword yet, so we have to go back here, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, the Blackwater shit is just so beyond the pale, because it's just, imagine if you were Iraqi and you were in the government and trying to, like, move past all the crimes that the U.S. committed in your country and trying to like normalize some sort of relations or figure out how you're going to like engage in diplomacy with the U.S. How could you ever take the U.S. seriously ever again? Like the one prosecution that came from that whole criminal era, you know?
Mhm.
And then it's just like as if nothing happened and you're just giving a green light to actual mass murders.
It's almost like Trump, and I don't know where it's coming from. Like, is someone telling Trump to pardon these people who did like the most egregious form of war crimes?
And all the people who like
Or-
mutilated corpses in Afghanistan and stuff, all those people were pardoned. Like really crazy ass sadistic
It's
stuff.
almost like what Trump, and I don't know who,
Damn it,
I don't know
dude.
if it's his doing or who is doing it, but it does seem like he just wants to send the message that just slaughtering civilians and mutilating
Mhm.
them is not, you're going to be okay if you do that.
Right.
I mean, and that definitely seems to be a signal he wants to send. But on the other hand, I can also understand the argument that it's like, you know, why is Blackwater that much more egregious than what the U.S. was doing there?
Mhm.
I could get on board that argument, but at the same time, like you talk to any U.S. soldier, and yeah, while they were there occupying a country illegally and doing really fucked up shit, all of them will almost unanimously agree that Blackwater was like
Yep.
10 times crazier.
Yeah.
And would just
Right.
like go into towns and start like shooting up random cars and shit for fun.
Yeah, you see videos
Yeah.
of them filming themselves just shooting
Those you-
cars
yeah,
and,
mhm.
and dogs and shit on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Buildings, just indiscriminately doing that.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Blackwater stuff is just unreal. And what's so crazy about the Assange thing? It's like Assange exposed crimes like this.
Mhm.
Why would Trump pardon Assange when he's pardoning the people that Assange exposed?
Yeah, and it's really surreal too, because I even see some of Assange's allies promoting a narrative that Assange, you know, did a lot to stop child sex trafficking, and it's like, well, who is that? Who are they trying to reach with that audience?
I
Obviously,
wonder.
QAnoners,
Yeah,
and I'm just
I
like,
wonder.
is that necessary? It seems unnecessary, but at the same time, I can understand people desperately want him to be pardoned. But I just don't get this mindset of like we need to
Then
beg
go
Trump.
left. The way is the way to get the sword. Shit, you have to go back to where the Rams were at the jail. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? We have to go all the way. That's so far. All right, well, we'll kill the Hydra eventually, but
This
right
game
now
needs a map.
Yeah, this is real.
Where were you going?
I'm just continuing to go indoors.
That's your parents.
Oh my
dude.
God! I've already won the game.
Wait,
the whole point is finding my parents.
Confront them.
We won.
tell them that they fucked you.
My
Hey,
dad's
remember
gonna-
you left me on the side of the
Hero,
road?
This banquet is in your honor.
Please, take your seat.
What?
Wait, that's
This
not
is a
your parents.
trick,
You know
dude.
what? I
This is
feel
a
like these
complete
it's
trick.
like the same actors playing different
What?
people.
Why would they do that?
Because it's low budget as fuck.
Dude, come on. You gotta try a little harder. Put a different little gown or something on him.
I love his like casual. He just seems like he even walks like he's a really.
He doesn't even
normal guy.
say anything, you know?
Yeah.
Bid the hero welcome.
He just looks like some like junior
to the
frat
Empire.
boy,
Yeah.
like at San Diego State.
Yes,
That is my dad.
Perhaps we'd better establish your credentials. Here's a simple test.
Hey, young hero,
Which
I
of
haven't
these
done
banners
anything yet.
bears the royal insignia?
You know? It is a frat.
Just poisoned him.
Dude, that's creepy. What about the elixir? Maybe I can poison her ass.
Yeah, try putting it in there.
Yeah, dude. Well, what do? I have to.
You have to pick one. It's a puzzler.
Oh.
You just got to pick one of the
Oh,
banners.
right. Okay.
To the hero.
No.
You won.
No. He's gonna drink it and die.
Oh, so you
God.
picked the wrong ones. Are they gonna make you push the
Oh,
fucking
this is
boulder up
this
the
is
hill now?
Atlas, right?
No, it's the guy. Who's the guy in the Greek hell that pushes the boulder up the hill?
Oh, right. Let's talk to this dude.
The boulder.
It's just a
looks-
never-ending.
For me, I pull 15 to eternity at hard labor for swiping ambrosia from the god. Tell you what, you break some of these rocks for me, and I'll clue you in.
We gotta bust up some rocks.
All right, dude. Let's do this shit. Stubbed his toe.
So you gotta have a tool.
You'll never get nowhere that way. You're
Well,
gonna need some kind of rock buster.
Rockbuster. Okay. So
Try
should
walking off the
let's
screen.
get off here.
Get the fucking rock buster.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Sisyphus, yes. You guys know. You
Yeah,
guys
this is great.
always fill in my lack of knowledge in the chat.
Great job. Yeah, I need to brush up on my Greek history. Damn.
Yeah, the Greek sounded like they lived on Long Island. That's the Greek accent in ancient Greece. It would be funny if someone just made a
dude.
Greek mythology
Maybe I could
movie.
put sticks to build a bridge. Shit.
Nope.
Oh, push this down, I guess. There we go.
Wow, that worked. Nice job. I feel like you remember this game better than I do.
Oh yeah, it's all coming back to me, baby. I like how just never ending it is. It's awesome.
I mean, it looks shitty in a lot of ways, but the more I'm playing it, I'm like, this game actually like spent a lot of time
Oh my
putting this
God,
together.
wait. Look, finally a warehouse. I get something.
Huh.
Come on. No? Looks like a warehouse. Looks like a door. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Damn.
No one's gonna answer.
Damn.
Apparently.
What a waste. There's nothing I can do to like break the door open. No.
Oh wait,
Sledge!
you have a
Holy
sledge.
Shit,
Well, you
I
gotta
have
go
a
back and
sledgehammer
break
this
rocks.
Whole time?
You gotta go
How
back
did
and
I
break
get
rocks.
one? Look.
Wait, how come you're just randomly getting items without knowing you have
I
them?
don't know. Look.
There's a gem on the ground.
Okay, gonna get that gem.
That looks pretty cool. Like, if this is just a compositing job where they've putting together a bunch of different little images, like from a boiler room and stuff,
Yeah,
like
right.
it looks good.
What the hell? I don't even know what I just got. All right, let's get out of here.
Check your satchel, see what you have.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'll check my satchel once I escape. All right, let's check this out. 2 branches.
Okay, so now you can
cores.
use
Great.
a boat.
Okay.
And an elixir vat.
Wow.
Of some kind.
Okay.
We'll try walking up the hill. What happens? Or walking like
No,
to the
you
right
can't.
side.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back and slam those rocks.
You picked up
Oh,
the hand
wow.
sledge right after you went
No
over the
shit.
sticks.
We were just too distracted
are.
to know. Good God. Mike Preisner is at home taking care of my child.
Somebody asked if do we like Robert Anton Wilson? I actually haven't read any of his books, but I've been meaning to. But I have a feeling that I place a lot of blame on him for like Illuminati conspiracies becoming so mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Why?
I thought that he had only written these books as a joke. I actually haven't read any of
What
them.
books?
Level Anchorage. He wrote a book called The
Fucking
Illuminatus
completely-
Trilogy.
Oh,
where
right.
it's mostly a joke. It's like a paranoid hippie fantasy that's riffing on like the paranoia of the post-hippie movement and riffing on like conspiratorial thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he also did a serious book about the Illuminati,
So this is where I got
which
the sledge.
echoes a lot of things that I personally have found to be historically inaccurate, that overinflates the Illuminati's role in order to brush aside Freemasonry. And what I've read about Robert Anton Wilson is he actually subscribes to that view. So that was a little surprising to me, is that he actually does think the Illuminati was like doing all these coups and things. And
Really?
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised because it almost makes me not want to read the books now. Because he wrote other books where it was like a serious examination of it. And he takes a point of view that's kind of just, in my opinion, sort of a manufactured one.
Mhm.
But I would have to read more deeper into his works and check one out. I have actually the first 2 in the trilogy. I haven't read them. Level.
Do I have to smash all these rocks? Yeah, I guess so. Damn. Good lectures like the acceleration of knowledge. I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
I like the cracks that appear in the
Okay,
boulders. They
that's
look like
enough.
shit.
The king at the banquet? He expected you to recognize the royal pattern because it's on the sword.
Okay. So the royal pattern is on the sword. So how do I get back there? I completely am not paying attention. Do you remember?
No.
That's
it seemed
it?
close.
Wait, that's why I had to crush the rocks? So you could just tell me that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly why.
All right.
Did you get a sword from him?
No. I think I get the sword once I go back to the banquet. Help me. Help me.
Robo,
what do I do? Robo, help me. Robo. Damn.
I actually, a
What do you think?
friend of mine knows Robert Anton Wilson, or he knew him. I think
Really?
he passed away, yeah. And Robert Anton Wilson seems to have basically reverse red pilled him. He was like very resistant to, and he would always argue with me about conspiracies. And I remember also when I found out that this friend of mine, he's a much older guy, hippie guy, had been to Bohemian Grove, and it was like, oh yeah, it's totally innocuous. It's like a campsite. It's like all these conspiracy theorists think it's bad, and he just took this like really weird defensive position on it where I just think he got like reverse red pilled too much by Robert Anton Wilson. Go
Dude,
down
what the
again. See what
hell?
else you have.
Can't do shit now. I have to get out of here. But then I'm back at the River Styx.
Sword is found to the left of the rams. Where's the rams? We just saw those rams, remember? Where was that?
Well, how do I get out of here? It's a trick door. I guess I can't pick anything up, huh?
Yeah, you need to leave without the hammer.
Without the hammer. Okay.
Or wait
put
a
it
second.
back.
What happened?
No, I have to. You're right. I have to leave without the hammer.
What?
Well, excuse me?
You literally clicked on the other door.
All right, let's see. Damn. Yeah, Bill Maher is disgusting. The Rams was after you broke through the prison wall. Damn, that's far as hell.
This
Yeah,
game needs a map.
My brother was just telling me about Bill Maher's, remember that heroic statement that everyone thought he made after 9/11 saying the suicide bombers were brave? Well, apparently it was just cloaked in a bunch of neocon psychopath language.
Yeah, I
I had a
recommend...
complete false memory about that shit.
Well, there's a false history about it because Bill Maher apparently was let go from his program for the comments he made. That apparently really happened. There's a little bit more to that story, but the actual comments he made are sort of idealized in a distorted historical lens now, where we're like, yeah, he was merely saying that the hijackers weren't cowards, they were brave, and that we're cowards for shooting Scud missiles. But if you listen to like the 2-minute rant that he does, it's straight up like it's like nested inside like full on fear-mongered Bush era neocon propaganda. Yeah, straight up. Bill Maher has always been like a neocon, essentially. He's always been like a mugged by reality, politically incorrect as a vehicle for like right-wing libertarian propaganda.
Right.
Who mentioned him?
Someone.
Where?
Anyone check in on Jan Irving?
Hell no.
No, dude.
Yep. Never.
But yeah, that's super interesting. I kind of want to hear it. We should play it on the next Media Roots Radio and just react to it because it would be interesting to go back.
Last time I checked in on Jan Irving, his whole thing was every single member of the psychedelic community was a CIA agent.
Yeah, he went off the deep end for sure.
He was very fixated on this idea that Terrence McKenna was CIA.
I can't hit them with the sludge. God damn it, dude.
You have to get the sword.
Okay, so by the Rams.
It's right where the prison was. He's saying you have to walk.
Ooh, DJ Doug Pound did a hilarious overdub video. Great. Who got mugged? What's mugged by reality? Robbie?
Who's asking me that?
Ned Ryerson.
Ned Ryerson. It's the comment that Irving Kristol, that a critic used, or wait a second. No, Irving Kristol himself used the term to describe his transition from being a leftist, essentially, to a conservative. That he got mugged by reality. and it's sort of almost like coded racism to mean like if you're just like a liberal guy and you're a lefty, and you know, you're into like black liberation movements, stuff like that, and you're walking down the street one day and you get mugged by a black guy. You've been mugged by reality because now you realize the ills of your liberal ways. So it's sort of symbolism for like, I was blind, now I can see because I've been mugged by a reality. It's sort of like that. Like Don Kagan had his own mugged by reality moment, which he describes at Yale, where he believed that black student activists and other activists taking over one of the Yale buildings was his mugged by reality moment. And a little, you know, I keep trying to explain this to people and they don't fully understand it. And they're like, oh man, Brett Weinstein and the Weinsteins are just like, they're just liberals. Like, you're totally wrong about them. And I'm like, but what they experience is a very similar, well, especially Brett, has extreme parallels to Don Kagan and Irving Kristol's mugged by reality moments. So you got to be careful of that and think, well, yeah, just because you're like seeing some liberals and leftists going super hard into the identity politics or woke direction, you can't just merely fall into that like mugged by reality paradigm. I mean, if
the Black Lives Matter stuff really set off a lot of people to...
Yeah. There are better ways to criticize the ultra woke, sort of superficially woke stuff. I mean, there are effective ways to do it, but to then be like, all this shit is dangerous. This is what the country's going to turn into. We need to start taking this more seriously and, you know, realize that these activists are dangerous and they're going to try to push cultural Marxism and communism and stuff like that. It's just, that's when it gets fully delusional.
My brother reminded me that Dave Rubin actually became mugged by reality because people were stealing his mail in Beverly Hills. So he got totally mugged by reality and became a total neocon plant.
Well, I mean, he was always sort of a neocon, but like he was always like, I'm a liberal.
Yeah.
I'm a classical liberal.
But now he just went.
And now he's
mask
full
off.
MAGA.
Yeah.
Started with getting his mail stolen. He was so upset that his mail was getting stolen. I think he lives in Beverly Hills. And he just started complaining about how the police wouldn't do anything about it. Also started implying that there might have even been a conspiracy against him and the police wouldn't do anything about it because he's Dave Rubin.
Oh my God, dude. Can you imagine? Holy
So we're at the Rams now.
Okay, so
did that lady give you a cake? He just asked. Robo's helping us out
Robo, where are you at?
Robo, where's the sword, bro? Go in between the Rams, did he say?
Wait, oh, there it is. Wait, no, that's a gem. How do I get up here? Gotta climb this shit. Some high-level important ideas. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't love the Majority Report's politics. I mean, I definitely strongly disagree with a lot of their politics, but they're one of the only shows, and Michael Brooks, you know, was doing a great job of it. He's still around, of just not debunking, but just like savagely going after the Dave Rubin and intellectual dark web people. And I guess there's just not very many people doing that. Like, I'll end up I'll watch Majority Report sometimes more often than actual political YouTube shows that I agree with because of those segments where there are, you know, the Dave Rubin stuff, the Weinstein stuff, even the Tim Pool
like
stuff
Greece,
they cover.
It says looks like some rocks, looks like Greece. I want to be the writer of.
He just says looks like Greece.
Yeah, it looks like Greece. I can't get this shit. I know that you can climb this, but I forget how. Oh, maybe that's how. All right, well, what the fuck?
Check your satchel.
Okay.
The old lady is supposed to give you a cake to use on the altar she was standing by. You got to go back.
Oh my God! Thank you. She did give us a cake. Wow.
Thanks, Robo.
Yeah, I mean, even Majority Report, I was watching it the other day, and even they were like hyping up Matt Stoller, being like, he has some really like intellectual.
Yeah. They bring on Naomi
like,
Keenst or something. There's a couple.
Why would you ever promote Matt Stoller and say that you're progressive? It makes no sense. This is absolutely insane. Okay, so go back to the altar. And take the cake out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad that their politics are so bad, and when it comes to foreign policy and stuff, because like they are the only ones who are constantly going after the intellectual dark web people, and effectively so. So it just bums me out. I mean, it makes me want to step up my efforts in doing it because I feel like people probably crave on some level people with like good foreign policy views, anti-imperialists doing that. You know.
Understand me. Here's some advice. Put me down.
Great.
gotta put the goddamn cake on the goddamn altar.
And then what?
And then I don't know. Robo's gonna help us out.
Robo,
you pick up the snake, then you pick up the snake from the altar.
Okay, we just did that.
Intellectual Dark Winter. That'd be a really good name for a show for the world.
Great.
Dude, you need to like copyright that.
Dude, now what? Okay, what the hell did that give us? What the hell did that give us?
Robo's abandoned us.
Robo, please help us out. Oh no, Cenk Uygur in 2011 saying down goes Gaddafi. Jesus Christ. I mean, you'd actually be hard pressed to find a lot of good people on the side of Syria and Libya when it mattered.
No,
you know
when
what I mean?
that's the thing. That's the thing.
When it mattered.
Yeah, when it mattered. Even the people now who are bashing TYT, and I understand why they're doing it. TYT has put out some horrible foreign policy takes and Russiagate stuff. But when it mattered, if you weren't anti-regime change in Syria when it mattered,
right,
and you're now going around bashing people who are, take bad positions on that because you flipped your position, I just don't respect that. Like, I feel that there needs to be a lot more transparency if you're a Johnny-come-lately anti-imperialist on that stuff. It really doesn't give you the leg up they think it does to be like, TYT's fucking imperialist. Well,
right.
you were 2 years ago.
Right.
So, in essence, I don't really care what you have to say. I'll listen to other people who have a clean record, who are going after TYT. But yeah, in general,
and there
it's
has to be like a big mea culpa moment. Like, let's do a Judith Miller kind of accounting of how you got to this place.
The mea culpa moment needs to be like it needs to be like
right.
a major thing.
Right.
I mean, you can't just delete, well.
So wait, what did anyone explain to us what we do after the snake disappears?
You go back to the altar and continue on to the right. Find
Okay.
a super. Wait, go scroll up a little chat a little bit. I'll do it.
Okay.
Find a boulder and use the stick on it.
Find a boulder and use a stick on it.
So did you already go to the right?
Yeah. Keep heading right from here and find a boulder. Thank you very much, Robo. I kind of just want to hang out with Robo Gaming all day. Wait, we're back at the fucking beginning. This is my monster dad. This is my beast pop.
What's he want? Talk to him.
There's the well, he's just going to say, go on your merry way.
This is the hero's path.
See if you can walk past him. No.
Can I
We walked all the way to the right.
Robo, please. Becoming anti-war was my first step towards libertarianism.
I'm just going to bring this up, and maybe some people in the chat won't love this, but what do you guys think about Trump pardoning Jesse Benton and the other top Ron Paul aide? Do you think that had an effect on Rand and Ron Paul softening on Trump? Because first I thought it was like Ron Paul got really COVID denialist, and I thought that that's why he was getting softer on Trump. But then, Rand Paul went right up Trump's asshole to the point where he became like almost like his biggest kind of parrot and ally in a weird way, consistently.
Right.
In the Senate. So now when I see that Trump sort of quietly pardons 2 former Ron Paul aides who I guess had some kind of felony conviction for some bribery scheme.
I didn't know about any of this.
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, what did they do? Do you know?
I don't remember the exact crime they were convicted for, but it was some kind of bribery scheme apparently during the Iowa caucus in 2012.
Then hit Trump's spot. Use the stick there on the boulder. Oh, yeah, you're right. The boulder does look very superimposed.
You got to prop it up.
Good call, dude.
You have 2 sticks.
Stick.
Go up, up.
Oh my God.
Maybe you don't have the right stick?
No, I have the right stick. This is going to break. I remember one of them breaks. It's okay. I got another stick.
That don't seem to be getting you nowhere.
Why do all these people have like weird accents?
I guess it's part of the humor in the game. I think it's funny if they just give everyone like different.
Fuck.
That don't seem to be getting you
Can I
nowhere.
put a stick up this guy's ass? So what do? I have 1 branch left. Maybe I put it on this side?
Yeah, same side. It made you go on.
Oh my God. Wait.
That don't seem to be getting you nowhere.
Use the stick there on the boulder with the guy with the sheep.
Try to use the stick on the sheep.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, why does it? Damn.
That don't seem to be getting
Robo's
you
hit a wall
nowhere.
too. In the walkthrough.
Huh?
Robo's like, strange.
Yeah, because I remember something happening here, but Daniel McAdams' own dad died from COVID, yet he's vehemently anti-mask. Wow.
Is he? I don't think he is. Daniel McAdams. Sorry, I thought you said Daniel Wright.
Is there another branch around here? Damn, I haven't seen one. I mean, I had 2 branches.
Yeah,
I think that would be enough, right?
I think that the anti-mask thing is actually inserted propaganda by people who want herd immunity. That's what I think it comes from.
It just makes no sense.
I mean, everything else makes a little bit of sense. Like the anti-lockdown stuff, the anti-closing down small business stuff, that stuff. The anti-stay-in-place order stuff, that makes sense to me. The anti-mask stuff seems like it's been deliberately inserted to actually kill people and to develop a false paradigm of herd immunity. Like it's basically designed to, the propaganda itself has been inserted so the virus would spread. And to me, that's kind of fascinating because why? Is it for herd immunity? I mean, who is pushing that? Like, where is that even coming from?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's
like, does Epoch Times even, like, I haven't even looked into it. Does like OAN, Newsmax, but actually especially does Epoch Times run anti-mask stuff?
I'm sure they do. You would know better than me.
Yeah,
but
I haven't paid enough attention.
Isn't it just kind of emblematic of how just stupid American society is, that they just don't want to be told to do anything?
Yes.
And so to be told to wear a mask already, that's an offense to their liberty. Or
it is, but if
so it doesn't matter what it is.
But it's true. But just like Jordan said, all Trump had to do was tell people, if he told people to wear masks, then they would have taken the opposite side of the issue. So it is fascinating that someone, if it's not just Trump, who is responsible for doing that? Because as far as I know, there's not an anti-mask movement to this extent really anywhere else in the world right now. I've seen some videos like in the UK and Australia, but in general, it does seem really manufactured, and it's just odd.
It is very odd.
Because that's the least worrisome thing about all this in terms of civil liberties is the masks.
Right. Right.
I mean, sure, if you want to get into the idea of mask mandates, where if you get caught not wearing a mask,
and you get like $1,000 fine.
Yeah, that's fucked. But like the idea of just common sense for the good of other people's health, wearing a mask, like, it is very strange how much that's become the issue.
I see it.
I
see it. Thank you, Robo.
See what?
I see the boulder. Look, it's a tiny little boulder. Yes.
That looks like a Monty Python animation,
I get the gem, dude. Where'd it go?
That's not a gem, is it?
Yeah, well, where's the stick? Well, okay, so now I walk. Hopefully there's a path, right? Well, what the fuck?
You should use the rock in conjunction with the stick to lift the boulder to find the sword.
Okay,
so you got to combine
I go back
them.
and
Yeah, you got to do a little lever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should wrap it up soon.
Yeah, we're
this
gonna
is so
sign up.
fun
Yeah.
though. I don't want to stop.
Get the sword. Get the fucking sword.
I can't. It's too hard.
And we'll save our game.
It's too goddamn hard. It's too goddamn hard. My body, my choice.
Nope, you pick up the rock again, he says.
What? I have to go back and get the rock? I thought I already got it, dude. Oh, because he threw it behind him. Jesus Christ. Robo, you are my oracle.
Yeah, you're the oracle. Fuck the actual
Yes, no, you're right. Adam G, you're absolutely right. They're individualizing the pandemic and making it seem like you not wearing a mask is why the spread is uncontrollable here. Very good point. They put the onus on people instead of the government and the system itself. And that is a really, really screwed up way to do it because, as we know, almost every other country in the world, even capitalist countries, have been able to curb this and control it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is just revealing of how much of a failed state this country is. The fact that we have let it get to this point, and then we blame individual people for COVID becoming out of control. And like, and I'll admit, like the hype on anti-mask people in general, instead of like the governors themselves and or
like making it seem like the anti-maskers are the,
right,
the ones causing it. Yep. That's also not true.
The deplorable anti-maskers, you know? And it's like a scapegoat instead of blaming the actual government and capitalism itself.
For sure. And that's, it's interesting that there are, God, I totally lost my train of thought.
Yeah, or climate change, right? It's because of you driving a car. It's like, first of all, we don't have a choice. There was a conspiracy to shut down public transportation.
Well, this sort of individualized, you need to do your part to recycle, to clean the air, to not help with global warming, or to not like exacerbate global warming. That's all been sort of manufactured and pushed on us since the 70s. Actually, there's a very infamous commercial where a Native American who's not actually a Native American guy.
Right.
He's an actor who's pretending to be Native American, crying
looking
at trash.
Pollution.
No, it's It's like trash specifically. And it was actually funded by the same companies that generated the most like aluminum trash at the time, which was the soda companies and like canned
it's like
food
we just make the
manufacturers.
shit, you figure out what to do with it.
So
it's not
like,
up to us.
So it's about making regular people feel guilty about basically having to figure out what to do with this like trash that corporations have just like. Even Coca-Cola is still making like dangerous amounts of plastic constantly and stuff. And just, I don't know, the whole thing is just, it's just
disgusting.
guilt. They're trying to guilt trip people into feeling that they're responsible for it. And that's another problem, I think, with the generic liberals, is they really get sucked into that the most.
They believe that, and then they blame and hate other people without understanding that it's the fault of like the system, you know?
Yeah.
So it just generates that divisiveness and detachment from reality in general. Yeah, no, it's really bad. But we do have to wrap it up. We have a little thing that we have to do at 2. It's been awesome doing this, MAME Politics, Robbie. I love it. Robbie has MAME Politics merch.
I got merch,
now.
baby.
We got Media Roots merch. Very, very fun. It's been awesome to be here and be engaging with all of you guys. And we will talk to you soon. Hopefully we could do a second part.
Yeah.
Part 2, Wrath of the
will,
Gods.
Yeah, we're going to try. But thank you again. Hope everybody had a great holiday. And if we don't get a chance to do this again, have a great new year. And hopefully we'll all do another one, or Abby and I will do another one before that, but might not have a chance to. But just want to wish everyone a very happy new year. And as always, if you want to access all of the previous now 102 episodes of MAME Politics, you can subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/Robbie Martin. Gives you instant access to every unlisted previous episode of the show.
Yeah, and show your shirt a little better
this
so
is
people can see it.
This is a Christmas present from Abby. She got some Media Roots merch made, and this is one of the shirt designs. It's the orange on white. We also have orange on black. And we might do white on black at some point too.
Yeah, Media Roots swag. If anyone's interested, email me, write me on social media, and we're doing a limited edition run of 50 shirts for now for the most diehard supporters. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Stay safe, and we love you, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.
Bye, everybody.